most people might think that your donors are going to get annoyed from hearing from you frequently, but retention and repetition is part of what makes marketing in general successful. And for those of you who have coached before, like recruiting student athletes, one message sent randomly is easy to ignore, but if you follow up with those emails and continue to give the student athlete content and selling your program, you're more likely to maybe yield a visit or yield an application, or better yet, yield that top recruit that you're looking for. It's the same with fundraising. So at Wesleyan, what we've tried to do is we're looking at this time as a challenge to virtually engage, to use what we have available to us in our toolbox to stand out from others, especially within our institution, because here at our school, and just to give you a little bit of history, for fundraising, even though my position reports to the advancement office, athletic fundraising is substantially separate from advancement, and the athletic department and the athletic director and the coaches are responsible for their own fundraising to bridge the gap between the operation budgets that the institution gives them and their operating costs. Approximately 1/3 of their operating costs are from the budgeted from the university. Another third they bring in from generating income through facility rentals and camps, which are obviously impacted right now. We have not been able, since the pandemic shutdown, we have not been able to operate a camp, and it's still a question whether we'll be able to start generating income this fall. So we've lost the entire summer to generate income, which is our peak season. So because people are spending more and more time at home and online, this channel provides a great way to engage fans. So John, if you can advance to the next slide. So because of current events, we look beyond the traditional mediums to tell our Wesleyan athletic story, trying to show the real power of sport and being able to deliver value and happiness and not just entertainment. That's especially what's needed most during this time. So like some discussions in some previous Hartwell podcasts that we've had talking about the value of athletics as an investment in the residential experience of the student athlete and as a tool to amplify the education already happening on campus and in the classroom, that's what we need to try and pivot to now, and that's what we're trying to do at Wesleyan, to show that value in our communications, so that when folks are asked either by advancement or by our athletic staff to make a gift, they will make that connection, see the value, and say, yes, this is worthy of my investment. So particularly I'm showing what we did with our football program. Every June they have a campaign called the All-In Challenge. And that is a challenge by the coach. He solicits his alumni to make gifts, which he will match with a gift. And in the language of the email, we wanted to highlight more of this value that Wesleyan football provides to the community, and not just the needs of the program in and of itself. So we made the needs secondary, and we added that to the bottom of the email. And I will share this email text in the resources that John will provide after the presentation, so you can see it a little bit more closely. John, the next slide. So determining what content you want to share will help inform what medium you're going to use, whether it's social, Zoom, email, that best would help drive your audience engagement. Other institutional areas are looking to pivot and take advantage of this shift as well. So standing out is key for you. You got to find out and think to yourself, what makes your program different? Athletics is inherently different than in classroom or some of the other institutional priorities for fundraising. So use those resources that you have and what you know works best with your audience. So for us at Wesleyan, being the small Division III college program that we are, and in a league, the New England Small College Athletic Conference, which even has more restrictive rules than Division III, we had to look at our situation to see what we could leverage digitally to take advantage of this craving for content. So we're using Zoom events. We have coaches who are, like many schools, are putting up throwback contests, but with a little twist is that we're not just playing the contests, but we are having coaches provide feedback and insight into what they were thinking, why they called this play, maybe sort of like a huddle clip from some of the technology that they use in their classrooms to teach their student athletes. We're using that to have these intimate conversations with alumni and fans on what the coach was thinking during that period of time. Similarly, like this presentation, we're going to use interviews and podcasts with high-profile alumni, especially those that have a connection to sport. Some of our high-profile student athletes and high-profile coaches to and promote them so that people can view and we can generate some viewership, and then that viewership would help with some of the other ways that we're engaging with folks. So another angle for us, especially with the parent group, is the post-life after Wesleyan, and that's just as true with student athletes. So we've been leveraging our alumni network for career advice, having panels. Not only does it engage the alumni in participating on these things, but it also engages the current students, provides value in what we're doing for them as a student athlete at our institution, but it's also showing those parents who are also donating to our programs, the value of being a student athlete, because they have these opportunities that are not necessarily available to the regular student body. So when it comes to events, moving to a digital mindset doesn't always have to be comfortable. I'm not the most comfortable doing this presentation right now. I don't do them all the time, but it is helpful and it's worth the effort. So when circumstances demand the need, it's a good excuse to give it a try, and that's what's worthy now. I mean, you can always experiment. If it doesn't work out, no one's been harmed, but the benefit of it being successful far outweighs the uncomfortableness of putting one on.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to get more great sports branding videos from Hartwell Studio Works, hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen. I'll look forward to seeing you next time.